Well, I've come across this article on Harry and Meghan's recent announcement, as it were, that apparently Archewell is supporting or teaming up with an organization that's called the Global Boyhood Initiative. So you can see from the headline here, schools shouldn't lie to their children about gender. So this is all about the gender identity issue, gender fluidity, gender neutral, non-binary, transgender, he, she, them, they. It's about this topic. So activists anger at Harry and Meghan's charity partner for saying childhood should be fluid and teaching elementary school students to challenge gender norms. Okay, so the article says two London schools, so this is relevant to the UK. The article says two London schools have piloted a curriculum to challenge the limitation of gender stereotypes by being run by a charity backed by Prince Harry and Meghan, it was revealed today. The Global Boyhood Initiative, which wants childhood to be fluent, has run workshops with staff from the Ravenstone School in Balham and Sherwood Primary School in Mitcham. So, wow, they're tackling schools in South London. That's interesting. The organisation promotes gender equality by promoting positive masculinity in boys and men and warns the phrases boys will be boys is dangerous. The Duke and Sussex's organisation Archewell has joined forces with the US-based initiative, which also accuses parents of gendering unborn children. Okay. So you can see that a Conservative MP is warning that the group is trying to re-educate children, young children, for the sake of political activism. And you can also see further down here that a report entitled "The State of UK Boys" was authored by the group last November, which claimed that families can be gender factories by enacting gender roles and identities. It states that parents can begin sexing their children even before birth based on external genitalia identification in scans, including through elaborate gender reveal parties and a series of purchases along gender lines. While the family is a place of care and support for many children, it can also be the place where gender and sexuality are regulated and monitored. Okay, and then obviously the article goes on. I'll leave it for you guys to read the rest of this. So this was on UK Daily News, and I've seen it in other articles. Okay, well, first of all, a US initiative. I mean, for God's sakes, you know, I'm really sick and tired of US narratives being brought over to the UK. Secondly, I'd like to know what research, what qualifications, or what experience is being put behind this initiative, and what studies show that this is beneficial to children, because obviously this is a new thing. So we haven't seen yet how this benefits children when they then go into their secondary school, their high school and their college, and then the rest of their life. We haven't seen whether this is any beneficial to children. But I do not see how being taught or not being taught about gender fluidity or stepping out of gender stereotypes has affected me personally in any way in my life. And also, don't you think it is always so funny that the people that talk about wokeism and equity and that are sticking their hands to a Van Gogh and throwing soup on a bloody Leonardo da Vinci painting, that these people are always the privileged ones. They're always the ones at university that are privileged enough to go to university, that are privileged enough to live with their parents, that don't pay any bills. And they're always the rich elite that want to talk to me about how I should be more environmental, how I should recycle, how I shouldn't fly private jets, how I should worry about my carbon emissions, how I should ride an electric bike, how I should ride an electric car whilst they're on their private jets and they're in their SUV Range Rovers with their 5 cars back with security and their bloody carbon emissions coming out of their cars while they're in Ibiza on their private jets. You know, so it's so funny how you have Harry and Meghan that are so privileged, you know, with their £14.4 million mansion, and they want to talk to me about equity. and they want to talk to me about how I should raise my children, which is quite funny because they have one boy. Oh, isn't it so nice? Their first child was a boy, and then their second child was a girl. Oh, and how privileged that they have one boy and one girl. They have one child of both genders. Oh, so privileged, so lucky. They can live off their dream in California with their one boy and their one girl. And isn't it funny that when Archie was born, that they announced his birth, or that he was born using a blue background? Oh, isn't blue a bit gender stereotypical? Isn't the name Archie a bit gender stereotypical? Isn't his middle name Harry's son, meaning Harry's son, a bit gender stereotypical? Isn't the fact that you've entitled him Prince a bit stereotypical? Isn't it the fact that he was entitled Master was a bit stereotypical? Isn't the fact that Lily, her name Lily, is a bit stereotypical, and her name Lily Diana is also a bit stereotypical and a bit, gender norm? And isn't the fact that you did a gender reveal in the Oprah interview to say that she was a girl, and you guys were just so happy and she wasn't yet born, so you're judging her on her genitalia? Isn't that a bit stereotypical? And then now she's entitled princess. I mean, isn't that a bit stereotypical? Come on. Okay, come on. It's all well and good. You now are speaking from a place of privilege, but you celebrate your children's genders. Also, I don't see you trying to teach Lilibet and Archie to be fluid. And as far as I'm concerned, isn't those who identify with another gender, or those who are gender fluid, isn't that like a tiny part of the population? I think it's like 0 point something of the population. I just really don't understand. I support those who want to transition. I support transgender. I support non-binary. I support those who want to be fluid. I support whatever. I don't believe in people being ostracized in society if they are good people, if they do things from their heart and in an honest way, and they don't do things to hurt people or to take advantage. Then I support their rights and their human rights. I do not support my child and little children being told about gender fluidity, or being told about gender identity, or to step outside gender norms. Like, at the end of the day, parents have to have some control. This is just more and more and more of the state interfering in our family life. And the way in which we live our family life is a human right, is a fundamental human right. If parents don't want their children to be exposed to this sort of information at such a young age, because children might find it confusing, then parents have the right to object. And I don't understand how we are essentially putting more power into schools and more power into the state to determine what our children should learn. I think that is extremely dangerous, and I do not support that. And the fact that Harry and Meghan are on this bandwagon, I just don't even know. They're all the way in Montecito, California, and yet they're trying to support something that is penetrating British schools, is, to me, unacceptable. I get the whole, we want little girls to be empowered and not feel like they need to wear pink dresses and play dolls all day, and we don't want little boys to feel like they need to be aggressive and fight all day. I get that, but that is not what this is about. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, they're trying to get in here by saying gender norms, but then you see fluidity, then you see the words gender factories, you see that the parents are identifying when the children are not even born based on the genitals that they see in the scans. So what? Harry and Meghan did. So what? What does that do? What does that do? I don't understand. Your child, you want to celebrate, you want to prepare. So what? If you have the right for your child to be born and you don't identify him as male, female, she, he, and you say that she can or he can choose when he's older, then I have the right to identify my child as a she or a he. I have the right to celebrate my child as a girl. And if later on, when my child is able to fully understand and make important decisions and decide that they want to be a different gender or a no gender, well, then that's their decision. I can't control an adult. I can't control a young adult. That is their prerogative. But as a child, I have responsibility as a parent to my child. If my child says to me, I don't want to go to school today, sorry, that's not their decision to make. I'm going to have to make them go to school. I'm responsible. So therefore, I'm responsible to make decisions about their upbringing. That's my child. I made that child. I grew that child in my body. I gave birth to that child. And then I'm going to have the state interfere in my child's education, interfere in how I'm able to celebrate my child, what I'm able to raise my child as. So what next? Is it going to be that I'm not able to raise my child as a Christian, or I'm not able to raise my child as a Muslim, or I'm not able to raise my child as a Buddhist because the state becomes, I don't know, religiously neutral and the schools are religiously neutral? So my child isn't able to take a day off to celebrate Eid or fast when they're at school or take a day off when it's Christmas. I am for my child being taught that everyone is equal, that everyone should be treated with kindness, that there are different people in the world and everyone should be treated with kindness. I'm up for that. But don't start telling my child that that their parents shouldn't have identified them as a girl or a boy, that it's their choice. No. Don't start telling them that gender is fluid, that there are more genders than boy and girl, that there are 100 genders. And you can't take that choice away from me as a parent. And the fact that Harry and Meghan are supporting this is a laugh. It's a farce. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it there. Remember, this is all just my opinion, okay? So please don't get out of control. This is my opinion. Do your own research. I'm not accusing Harry and Meghan of nothing. This is just commentary. This is my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, so please do your own research. And please do comment as to whether or not you agree with what this initiative is doing, or whether you agree that this initiative should be tried and piloted in elementary and primary schools. Okay, so, I actually don't have an objection to this being piloted in high schools and secondary schools. We call them the secondary schools in Britain. So I think it should be like later on in the schools, but not young children. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Obviously, every parent has the right, and I think parents should be able to choose to opt out their children from those sort of classes. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, tell me in the comments what you guys think about this, because it would be interesting. Be nice, please be nice. But drop a comment as to what you think about this. And if you're a parent, then yeah, give me a shout out in the comments, whether you agree with this or not. And please do subscribe to my channel. I've seen that there's lots of viewers, but not all of you subscribe. So please do subscribe, because YouTube counts the subscribers in order to grow your channel. So I would like my channel to grow. So thank you guys so much and have a good week. Bye, guys.